Awesome. All right, guys, this is for those of you that are logging in right now, watching this video on our YouTube channel. My name is Tony Martinez. For those of you that are on live with me, if you haven't subscribed, clicked, followed, notifications on, all that good stuff on our YouTube channel, make sure you do it. If you go to the TKOfinancialnetwork.com website, you'll see the YouTube button at the top. We record a lot of our trainings. Okay, I would go to the playlist and you'll see that I've itemized different topics on the playlist so you can kind of catch up and recap and so on and so forth and really, sharpen your knife on it. But if you're watching this video for the first time and afterwards you're like, man, I really want to learn more from this organization, hit me up, give me a call, shoot me a message, do whatever you need to do. I even give you my direct number. I'll give everybody my direct number so you have access to me. It's 239-784-1118. 239-784-1118. Today, we're going to be training on North American's platform, and then we're going to take some time to train on a virtual needs analysis documentation and a virtual application form that you can use in your practice. Okay, let's go right into North American. Let's not delay it, go right into North American. With TKO's platform, I'm speaking specifically with TKO's platform. Once you're done with contracting, okay, once you're done with contracting, you're going to get access to a website. This website has our own iPipeline. For those of you that have messed around with iPipeline and iGo, you know that when you get a writing number with a company, you can go directly to that writing number to that company's website, right? Like Foresters.com, American National, Allianz. You can go right to their website, log in. They'll give you all the instructions because you're an official agent with a writing number. And when you're going to submit applications, 90% of them are done through iPipeline. Right? Nod your heads if you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Okay. Here's the cool thing. For everybody except for Pennsylvania, I apologize, Pennsylvania, it's not my fault. It's the state of Pennsylvania. They don't think the way we do. It's okay, but it is what it is. For every other company, every other state, you can go to our website. You can go to our IMO's website and see iGo and iPipeline, same name. Even if you don't have a writing number, you don't have to have a writing number, and you can run illustrations. You can submit applications. And what will happen is once you've submitted the application, when it asks for the writing number, you're going to write the word pending or straight zeros across the board and submit it. And you might be thinking to yourself, wait a minute, I'm submitting business, but I'm not contracted with the company. What do you mean? Every state except for Pennsylvania lets you submit business and begin contracting at the exact same time. So it doesn't have to delay. You don't have to wait. You don't have to tell your pipeline, your clientele, wait, I don't have a contract number yet. You don't have to do that. You turn in contracting paperwork, the next day you have access to that service. The next day you have access to be able to do that. So your client doesn't ever have to feel like you are putting them on hold. You don't skip a beat, you keep business going. Now, what you need to do when you turn in the business, you got to reach out to my licensing team and let them know, hey, licensing team, I turned in business. Number one, I need you to begin my contracting papers for this company. In particular, today we're talking North American. Let me do a screen share here and show you how you would go about doing this. Here we go. You guys nod your heads. You guys can see the TKO website, right? Everybody can? Okay, good, perfect. So here's how you communicate with my licensing team whenever there's a company you want to get contracted with. Once you've submitted the business, right? You scroll right here down to Support Center. Support Center, write that down, don't forget it. And in Support Center, you're going to see a carrier contracting request button. Look how cool that is. You're going to click it. It's going to open up your VP's name, your phone number. Does the agent have new business to submit that requires contracting? Yes. Has the new business been submitted already and in our back office pipeline? Yes. If submitted, what's the client's name? What's the carrier? What state does the client live in? What's the agent's email? Give us some comments, hit submit. Our licensing team gets this. You know what we do for you? We contact that carrier. We say, hey, there's an application in the system by the client's name is John Smith. Do you see it? You do. Perfect. That agent is not licensed yet. Here is their contracting paperwork. Can you please put this ahead of the list and get this agent contracted because there's business in underwriting? This is all you do. Pretty cool, right? Pretty simple. Everything electronic, no problem. Now let's backtrack a little bit. Tony, how do I run the quotes? I just got contracted with TKO. I just came on board a couple days ago, did everything I needed to do. I'm ready to run illustrations and run quotes. Here's what you do. Go to our website. You're going to go to the Our IMO tab. Click it. You're then going to go to Our IMO. It'll forward you to our IMO's back office, which is the callums.com portal. Same place you did your SureLC contracting. They would have approved you by then, and you can log in here. I think I'm already logged in. We'll see. But right here under Agent Portal, you go to eApp Services, Electronic Application Services. Click. I'm not logged in yet, so let me log in. eApp Services. Look what pops up. There's that logo. There's that iGo. Every one of these companies here, you could submit applications through iGo. A lot of these we use. I mean, look, we use Mutual of Omaha. We use National Life Group. We use Foresters. We use North American. We use SBLI. We use Transamerica. I mean, we use a lot of these companies. That means you don't need a writing number to submit applications with every one of these companies, as long as it's not what state. Anybody know what state was it again? Somebody help me out. What state?
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania, unfortunately, needs to have a writing number first before you submit the app. Everybody else, you could submit it. Submit the app and then go to that contracting tab. Let our licensing team know that you need to begin contracting. Here's how you get to iPipeline. You go to right here to the Try Now button. It's going to forward you to iPipeline. If you haven't created accounts, you have to create an account with them. It's instant. You create an account. They send you an email. You validate. Boom, you're in. Here's my username and my password. I can log in. Bam. Pretty cool, right? Does that page look familiar for anybody who submitted iPipeline before? Pretty cool, right? So what you do is this. You go to Start New Case. Now you might be thinking, Tony, we're running illustrations. I thought we're not submitting applications. Here's a hint for you. North American is the only company we have in our platform that uses iPipeline as their illustration software as well. Most companies have two separate softwares, one for illustration, and then they use iGo for their application submission. North American is the only one that uses iPipeline for both. So you have access to full illustration software in this system. That's why I'm using North American, because it really genuinely is the best company to use for that brand new agent who has business to turn in, but doesn't have the writing numbers yet because they just started with us. Let me ask a question. Does anybody have an actual case on a term product that they would like for me to run a quote on without giving me the full name of the client? But I would obviously need all the rest. Does anybody have a case where they're like, Tony, I have a term, I need a quote. Show me how to do this. Anybody? If not, I'll make one up.
I do.
I volunteer as tribute.
I volunteer as tribute. Okay. So who said I do?
Victoria, I'm getting it now.
All right, Victoria, let's grab you. Victoria, do you have a GUL by chance as well?
I do.
Okay.
I have everything.
Okay, for who volunteered as tribute? Was that Caleb?
Yes, that was.
I thought it was. Caleb, do you have a GUL or do you just have a term?
The quote's just for a term.
Term. Okay, so Caleb, let me use you for term, and then Victoria, I'm going to use you for GUL. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So Caleb, give me everything except for the client's name to protect privacy.
Birthday 3/10/96.
Okay. Is this a male or a female?
Female.
Female. Okay. So we're going to call this person Karen Smith. Birthday's what?
3/10/96.
3/10/96. Ah, crap. Hang on a second. 3/10/1996. She's 25. She's female. You got to title the case. I tend to title the case according to the client's last name, first name, the initials of the company that we're using, and the product term. So last name, first name, North American, term. What state does the person live in?
Utah.
Utah's right here. This is, and now you select the type. We're going to pick a term product. There's term. Now, when you do this, You click this find available products and look what pops up. Every single company that sells term. This section here, notice it says quotes and illustrations. This section here says applications. All of these companies here have iGo for apps, but they don't have iGo for illustrations, except for, ready. Oh, look at that. Coincidentally, North American's the only one that uses iGo as their illustration software. So the product you're using for North American is called the Advantage Gen 9. Just write that one down because that's one of the questions. It's going to ask you what type of term. There's two different types of terms that they have. They have this term compare. You're using this Advantage Gen 9 product. Okay. So if I click this button to the left, it takes me to the illustration software. If I click this button to the right, it takes me to the application software. Let's run the quote. Click. There you go. Takes me right to the illustration software. Look at cool. It has go to eApp. So you can run the code and go right to the eApp if you need to, right? If you're like right there at the client's meeting and they're like, I'm going to do it right now. Tell me a little bit about that client. Do you know what the face value is? What rating you prefer?
300,000. We're going for the express easy underwriting.
Okay.
And it
So-
caps at 300.
300,000. If it's express, guys, just so you know, it's going to be standard non-tobacco is the best rating. Caleb, because you know a little bit about North American, do you know what the limit is for express underwriting with North American?
Is 300,000.
Well, there you go. So 300K is the max you can do as an express product. Express means they're not going to request a medical exam. It doesn't mean they're not going to look at medical records. It doesn't mean they're not going to pull your medical history. It doesn't mean they're not going to pull your prescriptions. It doesn't mean they're not going to pull your driving record. They're going to pull everything. They're just not going to ask for a medical exam, just so you guys know. Now, if you did want to do a medical, right, and it was 300,000, all you do is you go to preferred non-tobacco instead. And now there's a chance that they're going to require a medical exam where a nurse has to come out, draw blood and urine sample. But in his case, he's looking for standard express 300,000. Is this a 30-year product?
I'm sorry, what was that?
What's the term period? 10 years, 15, 20, 30? What are we doing?
30.
30-year. Okay, standard non-tobacco. There's the info. If you are the type of agent that likes riders, you can click right here to riders. Are we doing any riders?
No, not for this one.
Not for this one. Okay. Notice there's two types of riders. You got a waiver of premium rider and a child's term rider. Child's term rider is going to be able to add term insurance to however many children the person has, right? Waiver of term means that if the client is disabled for a period of at least 6 months, I believe it's 6 months. Every company is a little different. Yep, this is 6 months. There it is. You see what I did there? I can click this I button and it gives me detailed about what each rider is. If the client is disabled for at least 6 months, unable to work, then what happens is you can waive the premium payments. You don't have to make the monthly payments any longer. The insurance company will pay it for you. Okay. He's not adding any of these riders. So I'm going to go back. Boom, 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 boom. 300,000, 30 years, standard. Great. I can hit this button right here. Oh, are the payments monthly, quarterly, or annually?
Monthly.
All right. So we got monthly EFT right here. Monthly electronic funds transfer. Let me give you guys a tip. If the client pays monthly and it's not electronic, you will not be advanced commissions. Let me repeat it. If the client pays monthly and it's not electronic automatic withdrawal, if they're writing a check and mailing in the payment, you will not be advanced commissions. You'll get paid as earns. The only company I can remember off the top of my head that accepts monthly payments by check is National Life Group. Most companies don't even accept it, but just know what happens if you do it that way. I personally never accept someone writing a check on a monthly. I'll accept annual, but I'll never accept it monthly. EFT monthly, you hit this button right here, calculate. Look what it does. It's already calculated the 10-year, the 15-year, the 20-year, and the 30-year. Pretty cool, right? So this client's going to pay $32 a month, which is pretty good for standard rating now that I think about it. $300,000 of insurance for a 30-year period. She's 26 years of age. Not bad. Something you need to know about North American. North American has automatically living benefits. Chronic illness, critical illness, terminal illness are automatic on these, except for Caleb, California. Refresh my memory.
Yes, California doesn't have them.
It doesn't have all three of them. It has 2 out of the 3.
Correct.
Okay, so California and New York, those are the 2 pickiest states, just so you guys know. It has terminal illness and it has chronic illness, but it does not have critical illness. All the other states have all 3. This term insurance policy with North American can convert into one of their permanent policies, which is a GUL or an IUL or a whole life, without medical underwriting in the future, guaranteed approval. That's a big thing that I sell when I sell term life for someone that likes a permanent product. They love cash accumulation, but maybe they can't financially afford it. A way to get them to at least get something is to get a term product that can convert into a permanent product later. Does anybody have any questions before I continue?
I do.
Who is the I do person?
Maria.
Hey, Maria, what's up? What you got?
Hi. What's the conversion period, you know?
Caleb's going to be better for that. Caleb,
Give me 1 minute. I actually have their underwriting guide up right now.
thank you. And just so you know, all the questions you guys are asking, you hit right here, this blue hyperlink that says underwriting guidelines. And guess what pops up? All of the answers to all of those questions that you may very well have. Conversion provision. The reason Maria is asking that is because some companies will allow the client to do it for the entire period that they sign up for. Some companies only give you the first 10 years to do it. Some companies only give you the first 20 years to do it. I'm here to give you the guidelines of 90% of this, but I do expect you guys to be able to learn the other 10% by going right here and doing that research. And while Caleb is researching that, I'm going to go right here to the, go ahead.
Off the top of my head, I believe it's 20.
Okay.
And then the 20 years, 15, and I believe the 10. I'd have to check for the 10. It's either
I don't think the
5
10
or
does.
up to the 10th.
Yeah, I don't think the 10 does. I think for North American, if you buy a 20-year plan, you have the first 15 years to convert. If you buy a 30-year plan, you have the first 20 years to convert. But if you buy a 10-year plan, you don't have the conversion ability, but we'll let him confirm it. All right, right here, when you want to act, let's say you're the person that wants to show the client a very professional illustration, like you want to actually have a PDF and show it to them. You can go right here to view illustration. Look what pops up. This beautiful quote. Look at that. Very nice. 30-year term. Look, it talks about the accelerated death benefits that are automatically included. Look, it's got convertibility. Without need to provide any evidence of insurability, this policy provides you the opportunity to convert the entire face amount of this policy into an individual permanent policy. You can choose one of our permanent insurance policies available at the time of conversion, subject to terms of the new policy. Additional restrictions applied. Okay. So here are the living benefits. Remember, this is a $300,000 policy, right? So let me see if I can zoom in. Yes, I can. So if it's a terminal benefit, client has less than 12 months left to live, $247,000. If it is a chronic illness benefit, which is a long-term care need for all intensive purposes, right? If it's minor, it's $0. If it's a moderate, it's $37,574. If it's severe, it's $65,955. How do you determine if it's moderate, minor, severe? The doctor determines. We got to get medical records from the doctor, and the doctor determines what the condition is. If it's critical illness, which is things like cancer, strokes, heart attacks, every company has a list of criteria that fall under the critical illness benefit, right? Minor, $0, moderate, $141,000, severe, $248,022. These are your accelerated benefits, otherwise known as living benefits. Money goes to the insured, not the beneficiary. Let me give you a tip on this, because we just experienced this. I have a good friend of mine. He's one of our VPs. Unfortunately, his daughter just passed away because of COVID-19, and she was 27 years old. 0 pre-existing conditions. 4 months she was fighting COVID, unfortunately passed. She could not, the living benefits are meant for the insured. She was put into a medically induced coma. Because she was in this coma, she was not able to request her living benefits. And because there was no power of attorney documentation, no one could request it for her. So those benefits that she had, She couldn't request them because living benefits are for the insured, not for the beneficiary. The beneficiary is for the death benefit. If the person passes away, the beneficiary can show a death certificate and claim the money. But if the insured is in a coma and unable to respond for themselves, or mentally incapable of responding for themselves, living benefits cannot be filed. So it's very important that you guys understand this, that if you're selling living benefits, you should take the extra step. You should take the extra steps and get the person to recognize that they need to assign somebody a financial power of attorney that can represent them financially when they're not able to. Oh my God, Tony, do you have a document for this financial power of attorney? Yes, we do. TKO has a packet called a Kaizen Soulmate packet that you can literally download with all the instructions on how to download the state-specific power of attorney forms, medical care directive forms, and will. And it's a way for you to present it, set yourself apart from all the other agents just slinging products left and right without building rapport with clients, and put them in the right position. Does that make sense, or does anybody have any questions?
Victoria, I have one question. What about the owner? So if the owner of the policy, sometimes there's an owner of the policy and they're different from the actual insured, can they request the living benefits like a parent?
Yeah, so technically it's the owner. I apologize. Let me correct myself. I said the insured. 99% of the times the insured happens to be the owner. That's why. But you're right. If the owner is different from the insured, the one who has the right to file that claim is the owner, not the insured. I made a mistake by saying insured. It just so happens that most policies, the insured happens to also be the owner. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, good. That was a great question, by the way. So let's say it's a kid, right? You put a kid IUL and the child ends up going through cancer for whatever reason, the child ends up in a coma. It's the parent who's the owner who has to file those living benefits. It's always the owner. Okay, but just bear in mind, most policies, the owner is the insured. That's why you want to have that conversation. Okay, so anyhow, this is that piece. Here's your illustration. This is more of a schedule that shows the living benefits, but then here, terminal, chronic, there's your illustration. Pretty cool, right? $385 a year, level price for 10 years, 20 years, not 20, all the way to 30 years. Level pricing.
I would like to add that North American may counter with better than quoted, even on the easy or on the expressed underwriting.
I like that. It's good to know. So there's a chance that the price could be better with North American. That's good stuff. Okay. Now, after the 30-year period is up, whatever you sign up for, if it's a 10-year plan, a 20-year plan, or a 30-year plan, once that period is up, if the client wishes to continue, they got to pay astronomically more. They got to pay astronomically more, because what it becomes at that point in time is an annual renewable term, which means every year the price goes up and goes up. Client doesn't have to keep it after that period. Most people don't, but you just need to know in case they ask what these sections all here mean. Any questions? Very good. Okay. A couple things I want to tell you about North American. And let me stop the share, and I'll go back to the share afterwards when we do the GULs. A couple things I want to tell you about North American. Number one, from a builder's standpoint, out of all the companies we have, North American is the most strictest when it comes to getting contracted if you have credit issues in your background. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just being very transparent with you. Okay. If you have issues within your credit, some of you guys are coming from a captive operation. This is not captive. This is independent. They look at you as the business owner. If you got some credit issues, North American might come back and say, we're not going to let you get contracted, right? If you can't get contracted, your downlines can't get contracted. If you can't get advanced commissions, your downlines can't get advanced commissions. So just understand, you're in financial services. It's important that your things are, all your ducks are in a row. I would tell you this, we have a phenomenal company called Credit Repair Builders that if you choose to say, hey, I want to make sure my stuff is in good order, I need somebody to work on this stuff. I got a couple collections, a couple of this, a couple of that, I want to fix it. I would encourage you to sit in on one of our credit repair training classes that's done every Thursday, I believe. Thursdays at 9. brand by Natalia Lopez, and learn about that. And if it makes sense, it'll make you dollars. You can subscribe to that service, get the credit fixed, so on and so forth. Not trying to scare anybody, but just being very realistic with North American, okay? Number two, their e-app process is a two-step process. This is big. You need to know this. When you submit the application, the client is going to get an email notification to consent and sign. You're going to see in the very beginning when you submit the application initially, it's kind of quick. You're like, man, I felt like it was so abbreviated. And the main reason it's abbreviated is because you're not going to see the medical questionnaire, the questions in the application. You're going to fill out the client's info, the policy info, and then submit. Client's going to receive a notification in their email. Hi, this is Caleb Duran. There's an application waiting for you. They got to open up the application, sign. Once they sign, there's going to be a HIPAA form that they're automatically signing. North American will next send them another email, a second email. That second email is medical questions. The client's going to fill out their own medical questionnaires. What does that mean? That means you need to do a good job prepping your client on what to say. What do I mean by that? They need to be honest. They can't withhold. Number two, they can't exaggerate. Here's what I mean by this. It's just as bad to exaggerate as it is to withhold and lie. If the question is, hey, in the last 10 years, has a person had cancer and it was 9 years and they say no, that's bad. However, that's lying, that's withholding, right? Now, let me show you an exaggeration. If the question is, hey, did you ever have cancer? And the client puts down, yes, at one point in my life, I thought I had cancer. I had a lump. I went to the doctors to go checked out, and it turned out that it wasn't that at all. That's an exaggeration. You don't do that either. You got to prep the client for that. Be very direct, be very honest with the questions. Yeah, Lucia, you put laugh. Trust me, I've seen some crazy stuff. So you got to prep the client for it. Number one. Number two, based on how they answer those questions will determine, the company will determine right away if they want that client to get a medical exam done or if they want that person to be Easy App approved. This company will do up to $1 million non-medical with a preferred rating. Caleb's illustration says, no, don't do a medical at all. We don't need preferred rating. We're willing to take standard. So I need you to underwrite this without a medical at all. But I'm just letting you know, if you're going preferred rating or higher, you can go up to $1 million. And based on how they answer those questions will determine whether the insurance company is going to want a medical exam to be done or not. If they don't want a medical exam to be done, they'll underwrite it right then and there, approve it next day, boom, 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 quick. If they do want a medical done, they'll let you know and say, hey, you need to get a medical done. Any questions about that? Good. Okay. One more thing I'm going to give you about North American. Okay. Two more things. I'm lying. The policies can be delivered electronically. The client could actually receive a digital policy rather than a physical policy. Sometimes that's good, right? And I believe North American's protocol is to do it digital. We're going into a digital world anyways. So unless you come across that old school client that, hey, I want an actual hard copy illustration. Most of the times it's digital, right? Second thing is delivery receipts and underwriting requirements can never be electronic. You can't use a sign now, a DocuSign to get the client to sign it. You cannot do that. You do that, they'll kick it back. Unfortunately, that's a little old school about North American, which means when you get the delivery receipts, you need to physically print it to the client, print it or send it to the client. If you send it to the client, you got to tell them, you got to print this out. You got to sign it with wet ink and send it back. You know why you have to say that to your client? Because nowadays, damn near everybody has this device. And a lot of these devices let the person sign with their finger right on the screen. Like with iPhone, you can screenshot it and put your signature on it and send it back. I don't encourage you to do that. I don't encourage you to do that. If you build a reputation with the company that your clientele does that, there's a higher probability they could cancel your contract. So North American, wet ink. Mr. and Mrs. Client, I need you to print this, sign this, and send it back. You have to. Unfortunately, that's how it is with North American. The last thing I'm going to tell you about North American is this. Your case manager Her name is Neelam Patel. Neelam Patel. She works at UMS. She works at UMS. Let me screen share here real quick for a moment. Something you all need to know about North America. Let me go right to our IMO. We're logged in. Good. This number right here. You can do the local number, or you can call this number. They're open from 8:30 to 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. Okay. Neelam Patel, who is this lovely woman right here. She's absolutely amazing. Just so you know, there she is right there. She serves two big roles for you. She is your North American representative. Tony, what do you mean by that? What I mean by that is if you yourself call North American and are asking about your policies, they're going to say, go talk to your case manager. Who's your case manager? Neelam Patel. She is your representative for North American. You go through her for everything. She will email you all of the underwriting requirements. By the way, she's phenomenal. She's super fast. You submit business, she's emailing you back super quick. This is what they need. 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 And her job is to try to get this policy approved for you. She's your rep. Neelam is also your high-risk case manager. So if you happen to run into a case that you believe has medical issues and you want her to scrub the industry, the carriers for you to see which one to use, she's the one that also does that for you. Absolutely phenomenal, guys, when I tell you that. But I want you to save yourself on some of the headaches that we went through in the beginning when we just didn't know this protocol. You cannot contact North American as an agent and ask for underwriting requirements on your cases. You can contact North American for your book of business once it's your client for servicing and stuff like that. But while it's in underwriting, your case manager is Neelam Patel. Any questions about that? Has anybody had any experiences yet here with North American and with Neelam that they'd like to share? Jen, I see your hand up. Go ahead.
So I submitted my first piece of business, and she is, like Tony said, she is very efficient. I get I get email responses from her in my mailbox. Well, she's an hour ahead. So usually before, I don't want to say before 9 o'clock in the morning, she's very quick to the response and she's very helpful. So if you guys have any questions, I highly recommend speaking with her.
Super amazing lady. I'm gonna tell you right now, she really is amazing. But this is a way to kind of give you some understanding of how to work with North American. Okay, they have, in my opinion, the number 2 IUL in the market space. The only one right now that's outperforming them is Allianz. And you sometimes you talk to different advisors and they argue it. It's very arguable. They're very, very close. North American is it's almost like a wealth management type company to deal with. You're not going to find North American, for example, in many MLM type models. You won't find North American in a WFG model. Like, they want quality. They genuinely want quality in regards to their clientele. Any questions? And in their agents, by the way. So y'all are privileged. Good. Okay. Let's now to submit the application. Remember, there was the button to the right. You can go in there, boom, and submit applications. That's pretty simple, self-explanatory how to do. Just anybody's ever used iPipeline, that's how you submit. Or if you're in the meeting with your laptop with the client says, I want to take action, you can click right here, go to eApp. You click, go to eApp, it takes all the information, pushes it over. By the way, I am sharing my screen, right? You guys can see the screen? Yes? Okay, good.
Yes.
Cool. You click right here, it goes over. And it's taking its sweet old time right now to do it. That's what technology likes to do when you're in front of a crowd of 20 some odd people. It likes to embarrass you. And bam, there you go. Please reload your information. There you go. What is this? Is this a new business? Is this an internal exchange? Most people will be doing new business. Hit next. Look at that. Come on now. What are you doing? Get back to me. That seems pretty familiar, right? Kind of self-explanatory, right? You have to fill out all these sections here and make sure that all of them have green check marks before you're done. Simple as that. When it comes to the writing agent number, if you don't have a writing number, again, you put zeros across the board, or you write the word pending, and then you go into our TKO website, right? You go right into the TKO website, you go into the support button, right over here, support center, and you submit the carrier contracting request. Hey, TKO, I just submitted some business. Help me out, get me contracted, right? Now, one last thing you need to do, one last thing, and you need to do this with every single application that you turn in with TKO from now until we get ourselves to a $40 million operation and we have some software enhancements, right? Caleb, I'll get you right now. I saw you raise your hand. When you submit business, doesn't matter which company, as long as it's through TKO's platform, you got to go right here. This is the last thing you do. You see this new business transmittal button. You click this. And if it's life business, you click this one. If it's annuity business, you click this one. If it's any other type of product, you click this right here. So if it's life business, you go click life. And you just fill out this document, this digital transmittal. It's just information about the policy, information about you, information about the client. Fill it out. It's not long. It's not hard. It's pretty simple. Okay. Your VPs need you to fill this out. Your VPs have a CRM system that lets them keep up with how much business the agency is pushing and turning in. And so it's important that when you fill out business, you put the right VP that you belong to. So if you're part of Victoria's net VP team, you click Victoria. If you're part of Caleb's, you put Caleb. If you're part of Armando's will be added here momentarily as well too. You'll see that whoever your VP is, you got to put it here because they get reports based on this. Number one. Number two, if you want to get paid fast, you got to submit this report because my payroll team receives this report as well. And when commissions start coming in, they want to make sure that the commission is assigned to the right piece of business. And so this gets you paid fast. It gets you paid fast. You get what I'm saying? Get you paid fast. If you're a direct to carrier agent, North American pays once a week, which is on Tuesdays. North American is not a daily pay. They are a once a week on Tuesday. If you're an LOA agent, meaning you get paid by the FMO, you would get paid on Wednesdays for anything that paid the week prior. But this is crucial that you fill out. Caleb, you had a question, and I'm sure there's probably going to be other questions based on my conversation right now. What do you got?
I was just updating that. I was a little behind. Looks like at the end of last quarter, the right of way is now up to 2 million for 18 to 50 years old.
Oh, wow. So what he just said is you can get 2 million approval, non-medical preferred. Up to 2 million. That's nice. That's good. That's good stuff. Appreciate it. Now, based on what I just
60s, 500K.
say it again. I'm sorry.
So then H is 51 to 60s, 500,000.
That's still solid. Very solid. Anybody have any questions with what I just explained with that new business transmittal?
I don't have questions about the new, this is Victoria. I don't have questions about the new business transmittal. I think that's pretty awesome. But I do have questions. So I just got appointed with North American. And so if I go to the North American website, will I be able to write directly through there, or do I need to write through the IE app?
Great question. When you do get a writing number, you could bypass Call UMS and go right to the carrier website. It's actually better that you do, because when you go through the Call UMS, someone has to manually approve that application and push it through. When you go directly to the carrier, nobody has to manually do it. You go just directly to the carrier. So what I'm showing you is more for that agent that just contracted, that doesn't have a writing number. They can go through our iPipeline. But once you have a writing number, you can go right to the carrier websites and submit business. You still have to do the new business transmittal. You can't avoid that piece, because that's how our payroll team, commissions department all communicates. That's how we're able to send reports to the VPs of what the downline agents are doing. Without that, we're kind of blind until the commissions come in.
Okay,
Make sense?
thank you.
You're very welcome. Very. Anybody have any questions? No? Okay. Let's keep going. Let's do some GULs. Let's do some GUL. Let me share screen here. Screen 3. All right, good. So let me close out some of these here so I don't get myself confused. Close that out.
So this client is going to be a GUL or an IUL, whichever one best suits them.
Okay.
So They have a
Right.
$250 to $300 budget monthly.
Okay. So
And I can
is it
give
a
you
male or a
further-
female?
It's male.
Male. Okay, so we're gonna call this person John Smith. Date of birth.
5/18/1959. That's why I was thinking GUL.
Yeah. Personally, just on the age, I'm thinking GUL as well.
Yeah.
What is their focus? Cash accumulation or insurance protection?
Kind of both, you know, they want to leave their family a little something behind and make sure they have living benefits also. That's important,
Okay.
but wouldn't mind the cash accumulation. That's why the larger amount, because that's kind of what we discussed.
Okay.
So
All right. So let's play with some numbers. Smith, John, NA for North American, and we're doing GUL. State of
Louisiana.
Louisiana. By the way, if you're going to be writing, guys, in states outside of the state that you were recruited in, one thing you want to do is you go right here to our website. You go to, where are you? TKO territories. And you just want to make sure that the FMO is selling in the state that you're writing. We're in a lot of states. I mean, look, we're in 30 something states, right? So Louisiana is definitely in that list, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, there it is, Louisiana.
Yeah.
Right. And if you see this little stethoscope, that means we also do health insurance in that particular state as well, too. So Louisiana, there it is. Like Mississippi, we're licensed in Mississippi for life, but not health. Right. So if you do happen to say, man, I'm about to write business in a state I'm not in, just let us know. Contact my licensing team, contact Sandra. She more than likely has already text messaged you and let her know, hey, we're going to be writing business in this state. Give TKO like 2 days or so we can get those licenses active and going. That was a sidebar, but I thought it was important to talk about. All right, so Louisiana, this is a GUL. So we're going to scroll through. Let's pick the Universal Life platform. There it is. The system now will find all the companies that do Universal Life. And bam, there's North American Custom Guaranteed Gen 9. That's the one you're selling for their GUL. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you for those of you. Any of you guys written American National GULs before? Do me a favor, type in the box or unmute yourself and let me know if you have.
Yes, all the
Okay.
time.
North American is identical to American National's GUL. It has a return of premium on year 20 and year 25. It has, the preferred rating up to 2 million, non-medical, same exact stinking living benefits, same thing. In my opinion, American National has better living benefits than North American. I think it does. Gives a higher percentage, but outside of that, it's about the exact same. So left button's illustration, right button's applications. Let's go to illustration. Here's your GUL platform. And you said we're going with your situation, we're going off a budget, right? So their budget's 250 to 300. You're trying to see what's the most we can get them, right?
Yes.
Okay. So let's go. How's his health? Pretty healthy, or do you want to run him standard?
I always do standard. Is that good? I don't know.
It's every agent has their preference. I typically will ask a little bit more questions about their health, their age, their height and weight to let me determine if I'm going to go preferred or not. But everybody has their preferences. There's nothing wrong with standard. Just make sure that the client understands. It could go lower, it could go higher. Here's where we are. Nothing wrong with that.
I just do that because I've had some to go a lot lower, and it just is like a middle ground. Is that right, Tony? Is that kind of okay?
There's nothing wrong with that. Here's what I would also do. Armando and Caleb, you guys have extensive experience in the industry. What is your preference? What is your cup of tea in that question?
I usually go standard non-tobacco.
There you go. Hey, there's a $250,000 earner right there telling you how they doing.
Thank you. Got it.
Caleb.
Under promise, over deliver.
There you go. He also goes standard. There you go. So again, it's different cups of teas. You know what I mean? I typically will do standard, but in the same token, like I said, I ask a lot of questions before I run illustrations about their medical history. And the biggest ones that I ask is what's your height and weight? And the age is a big factor as well, too. That helps me kind of determine where to go. But we're running at standard here. So with your situation, we got to do it based on price. So let's see here.
And it's gonna be monthly, of
Yeah,
course.
let's start off at 200,000 of death benefit. Client's payment is monthly. There it is. How long do you want the GUL to be guaranteed till and paid until?
So I'm just going by what I see at Anaco. I don't know. It's
Okay.
usually like 100 or 91. Is that correct? Is that kind of
So minimum is 95, and then it goes up in
Okay.
5-year increments. So 95, 100, 105, 110, all the way up to about
95?
Okay, so let's guarantee premiums until age 95, right? We're gonna pay premiums until the age 95. Okay, let's hit calculate. And there you go. The target on this is $395 per month. These numbers are all going to be based on the payment mode. So since you selected it, we selected a monthly payment mode. For 200,000 is $395 is the target per month. But this is 200,000 of death benefit, which means we need to drop this down. Let's go to 150. Recalculate. 296. There's your $300 a month. Does that make sense?
Yes, perfect.
Okay. If you wanted a view illustration, you click right here, view illustration. If you notice, there's two buttons. There's view agent only illustration, and then there's view illustration. That there's actually a meaning behind that. And I'll explain to you in a minute now what it means. This one is not the view agent only. This one's the client facing illustration that's popping up right now. It looks like I'm having some issues with the download. Let me see here, view illustration. A premium recovery is not included in this, refer to pre-definition. Okay. You know what I think it is? If I remember correctly, I might be wrong with this, but if I remember correctly, until you have a writing number, you actually won't be able to view an actual client-facing illustration. So client-facing illustration, which is this button, you'd have to be in the carrier website. Because I'm not in the carrier website, we can do the view agent only illustration. And what the difference is that the client-facing one for a permanent policy will have the NAIC form that needs to get signed by the client. You can collect that on delivery. You don't need to have that on submission, so you're fine. But here's an agent-only illustration. So let me zoom in here. This particular product is $369 a month, which is more money than the client wanted to pay. So let's do this. Let's get rid of that one. Let's drop this face value down one more time from 150 to 100,000. Calculate. Now your target's to 197. So let's view the agent only illustration and see what the monthly premium payment is. There you go. Now you're at 248. So if you did anywhere between 100 to 150, you did like a 125, you'll probably get closer to that $300 a month, but you get the drift. Here's the annual premium right here. So this client's paying $2,900 a year all the way up until age 95. There it is. Death benefit is $100,000 all the way up until 95. Because of the client's age, there's no return of premium guarantee because of their age, because they're older. Otherwise, you would see it right here under surrender value. You'd see that piece, but at 62, that's not even available for them. However, what I do like to show about this illustration is, look, this is guaranteed. It's a guaranteed product as long as they're making their annualized payment. There's your insurance product. And this also has the living benefits, right? This has those living benefit features already in there. Let me see illustrations, qualifier cash value accumulation. Where is the, trying to see if it shares with me the accelerated benefits on this agent facing illustration, but I don't believe it does. There it is. Accelerated benefits, terminal, chronic, and critical is already in there. Any questions? Cool. Okay. Let me, just for training purposes, let me drop the person's age. Let's say the person was 39, right? I just want you to see the ROP features on there. Person's 39. View agent illustration. This would be for a 39-year-old. It's about 72 bucks a month, which is about right. But look, now you see the surrender value section is growing. There it is. And so where is that? It's not showing me what I want to see. 31, where's the, is it the state of Louisiana that maybe doesn't offer it? There's an ROP writer too here, and I don't see it on here. That's value. 100,000 level. Hang on. Let me see here real quick, riders. That's usually an automatic. Caleb, you write a decent amount of North American. Am I correct with that?
I'm sorry, what was that?
I didn't see in the illustration the ROP on year 20 and year 25. It didn't have it in there for this. What is this? This is a universal guarantee. This is a GUL. This is right.
Let me try it on my site.
Other side. Let me see 300,000 preferred rating. Let me just play with some numbers here real quick. 300,000. Let me see here. 300,000 paid to age 95. Monthly calculate. Let me see what it does. View agent illustration. That's a huge selling piece. That's one of the biggest features that I do to sell is the G. So just so you guys know what I'm talking about, the GUL with American National and with North American on the 20th year and on the 25th year. And on those two time periods, the client can cancel the insurance and get a full refund of all the money that they ever paid in. Problem is, I don't see that here on the illustration, and I don't know if it's because it's an abbreviated illustration that it doesn't show it. Annualized premium mode.
Hey, Tony,
Yeah,
I'm not sure if you would have to do increasing death benefit instead of that level. That might be the factor right there from my
no, I
previous
don't-
experience.
I don't think so. Because I did it level as well. I think this because remember, guys, on iPipeline like this without a writing number, it's giving you an abbreviated illustration. I'm gonna log in here in a minute. I'm gonna actually do it through the website. Because I never really had that issue. No. Mm-mm. All right, let me do something here real quick. Hang on, guys. I'm gonna log in directly to the website. And I'm gonna run it through there. If it does it there, then the answer essentially is just, is that the abbreviated illustration on iGo without a writing number doesn't show that piece, but it's not that it's not there, it just doesn't show that piece. Babe. Come on.
So could the older person probably have gotten that also at
I don't-
59?
I don't think
You
so
don't
at that
think so?
age. So I don't think so at that
Because
age.
in Anaco, it's like that. American National, it's like that, even if they're older, and that's what we like.
It's
about
identical.
it.
And when I tell you it's
Okay.
identical, they're identical. Hang on, I'm just waiting on a security code to log in. Babe, can you hear me? Sandra. Yeah, please. Ah, there goes my dog. You're gonna hear a lot of noise for a minute. Hi, yes, hi, how are you? Hi, yeah, give me the code. 923 753. Hi, yes, hi, I love you too. Go play with mom. Go play with mom. 95 pounds of 7-month-old dog. Crazy. Hang on 1 second. Web-based illustration. I'll share screen now. I just wanted to log in first.
According to the product guide reference, it's still both on the GUL and the IUL builder with the guaranteed rider.
Yeah, I thought so, but let me see here. Let's try this. Let's try this again. John Smith. Give me that date of birth again, please.
The date of birth is, oh, I just had it. Hold on.
It's okay.
1959. His date of birth is 5/18/1959.
Okay. 2 male.
In Louisiana.
I'm gonna change the date right now, the age right now to an age bracket that I know they qualify for that that return of premium. And then I'll change it after. North American GUL. Okay. So this is Louisiana. Universal. There it is. Select. Let's try to recreate the exact same thing. See what pops up. You guys can see my screen, right? I'm sharing. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Good. Thank you. All right. So we did standard. We did guaranteed until age 95. We did 100,000. None of that changes. Clients paying monthly. Boom, 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 boom.
Can I ask you a question there? Is there a way to change it to where we could do the instead of putting the initial death benefit, can we change it to the monthly amount that we want, or it's not available?
You can. It's a solve for it. Let me see here. There's a lot of different ways. I look at it like there's a lot of different ways to get to Rome. It's just a matter of how you want to get there. Let me see.
Exactly.
Monthly premium solve for. Maybe I don't know if this software actually allows that. Some carriers do, where you can solve for the price. You can put in the dollar amount, it'll tell you the total amount of insurance.
It's right there. You see where
It's
it
right
says
by your
solve
mouse,
for,
Tony.
solve for guarantee. It's right there. Yeah,
There we go.
got it. Okay.
Solve for, let me see here. Solve
Is it
guarantee-
specified at the top, I think?
Solve for lump sum guaranteed premium. Let me see here. Solve for guaranteed premium. No. Wish to pay guaranteed death benefit, guaranteed premium. Guaranteed-
Fifth one, Tony. Solve for guaranteed death benefit. So you input.
There we go. There we go. So the premium amount, we're gonna do 250?
300.
You wanna do 300?
Mhm.
Oh, sorry. 300 monthly. Paid premium, what do we have until age, guaranteed till age 95? Is that good? You want till 95, right? You said that to me before?
Mhm.
Okay, we'll go there. Let's calculate. Oh, zoom back out, come on now. In order to generate premium guidelines, a death benefit must be specified. In order to generate premium guidelines, the death benefit must be specified. The policy cannot be illustrated. So. Death benefit. Why is that? North American's illustration software is a little tricky. You saw that, Caleb?
Yeah, so based off wanting to just do the guaranteed premiums to 95, you have to put the face because it's going to spit out the minimum, max, and guaranteed premium.
Mm-hmm.
If we were doing something other than the guaranteed pay, then you could solve for face instead of solve for premium.
Yeah. Let me do it the way that I know how to do it. And then we can always learn different ways afterwards. So let's do No specific solve. 100,000. Monthly amount. Who is this person? That's not what I'm looking for. Solve for. Some guaranteed. Okay. So guaranteed to age 95, 100,000 with death benefit. Clients paying monthly. Calculate. $58 a month. So what I typically do is I just manipulate the dollar amounts. Do 500,000, calculate 292 a month. Do 450. Again, this is a younger person. This is a 39-year-old. Calculate 262 a month. Let's view the illustration. This is an actual client-facing one, but remember, I'm logged into the carrier website. I'm not on our back offices. So this is the full illustration. Let's see here. There's the living benefits, the summary of living benefits. This is still not showing the ROP. You know, custom guaranteed UL. Let's see here. Realized terms.
I'm not sure why yours isn't showing, but mine did show.
Yours did?
Yeah, let me see if it shows on the agent only.
That is so weird. I've never seen that before like that. Interest. Mind you, guys, just so you guys understand, my team is the one that typically does all these illustrations. So I haven't really touched this in a while now. But even still,
Yeah, even my agent only on my website still shows the
just show
ROP at 15.
are you doing it right now? Can I give you?
I just threw in random numbers. It's not accurate.
Oh, gotcha. Did you do it? Did you run yours the same way I ran mine?
Let me see here. Let me look at yours because yours is on my phone. I just got here. Standard, sold for guaranteed premium. The only thing I left, if you want to scroll down a little bit. The only thing I left was still solving to age 120. I didn't mess with that.
Well, I did that too. Solve to age 120.
Or I'm sorry, guaranteed. I didn't change that to 95. That's the only difference on mine.
Left that at 120.
Yep.
Yeah, but I've been able to do that without a problem before.
Yeah, that's just the only, I think, difference on my stuff.
Let me see here real quick. That's really odd. I'm gonna check that. I apologize, guys, for that. Usually it would just show you it would show you a full ROP, a full return of premium on year 20 and year 25. Look, this one does actually. That's so weird. So look, on year 15, the client gets back, usually it's well, here's year 20. The client's put in 81,417.60. The client gets back 81,418. On year 25, the client gets back 107,772. If you add up all of these for 25 years, it's 107,772. There's an asterisk to show you on these 2 years, year 20, year 25, they get back 100% return of premium if they canceled. On year 15, they get back, I believe, 75% of what they've put in. So you see this asterisk here that shows 30,532. That's only about 75% of what they've put in. The full return is on year 20 right here and on year 25 right there. Why it didn't show it on the other illustration, I'm not exactly sure. Let me do, that was the agent only illustration. Let me do the client facing illustration and see if it does it there. And then I'll change the age now to 62 to mimic the quote that Victoria was talking about. Let me see if the ROP is on this one. Yeah, it's there now. There it is. I don't know, it might have been a glitch. I'm not sure. But there it is.
So that's for the older age also?
No, I haven't done the older age one. I just did
Okay.
the client view and the other view. Let's do the older age. You said 19 what?
59.
59, okay. Changes the age to 60, okay, good. 63, da, 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 okay. This death benefit is gonna be a lot less for him. To the age, so 100,000. Let's calculate. $197. Let's look at the illustration. All right, so there's a couple of them. Let's just look at it. So there is something there, right? So 3268 a year is what the client's paying, which is 272 a month, right? So 3268. If I added 15 years worth of payments, right? I'm sorry, if I multiplied 15 years worth of payments, that's $49,020 that the clients put in. On year 15, they would get half of that back pretty much, 24,511. On year 20, they would have put in 65,361, they could get 50,000 back. And on year 25, they could put in, they would have put in let me add that up again, 3268.08 times 3268.08 times what, 25 years worth of contributions. That's 81,000 they would have put in, and they still get back the same 50,000. So there is an ROP for this person, but it's not 100% ROP. Here's 50%, here's about 80%, and then over here is about 60%, because obviously if it's the same dollar amount, but they keep making payments, then they get back less. Does that make sense, everyone?
That's the way it works in Anico too. So awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's identical to Anico. So I don't know what happened with the illustration software there. It was like a glitch or something. Let me try one thing here, see if it goes back. Guaranteed death benefit to payments. Let me go back to 95 here and just see if maybe that's what did it. I'm one of those people that I want to find out what caused it. Like, yeah, there it is. Look. When I did a guarantee to 95, for whatever reason, it doesn't show it in the illustration software. So if the client pays this until 95, basically what this is saying is if the client pays this till 95, there's no ROP. If the client pays this until age, let me see if I guarantee it until age 100, let me see if it shows up on 100. See that? Even I learned something new. You see that?
Hey, Tony,
Yes.
how about on the pay premium? How about can you change that to 95 so they can match instead of the guarantee?
Yeah, I don't think it'll do anything, but I'll check it out now. Hang on. The system automatically, when a policy ends, it'll stop the payments regardless. That's why. But let me see if I do it to age 100. There you go. If I do it to age 100, it has an ROP. So that's something to learn, right? If you run it to age 95, there may not be the ROP rider. If you run it to age 100, there is an ROP on it. Because look, now payments go to age 100. And it's a little bit more money too. $260 a month versus the if I ran it to age 95, and I'll do what Juan was talking about, right? Drop that to 95 as well. The premium payment is a lot cheaper instead of, so this one here was what, $260 a month? This one would be $248 a month. So
Hey,
for
Tony,
12, so basically for $12 more, you get an ROP rider on it.
Run it to 96. I think the fine print is it has to be ran to over age 95, so 96 and older.
Let's try it out. 96. Calculate. Good stuff. I haven't done illustrations for myself in a while, so I'm learning a little bit too. Let's see the illustration. Oh, there it is. He's right. So the minimum you can go as far as guarantee is 96 in order to have the ROP rider automatically included in there. At 96, it costs $251 a month versus 90, hang on, versus 95. Nope, versus 100, it's 260 a month versus 95, 248. So for instead of paying 248, you pay 251 and you have guarantee insurance until age 96, and the ROP is automatically going to be included in there. There you go. We all learned something. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, good. So here's what I'd like to do, if you guys don't mind. There is such a thing as analysis by paralysis. We've gone for about an hour and a half. I'd like to follow back up tomorrow and find the time to do the IUL illustrations with you guys. We've been going for an hour and a half. I want to respect the fact that I know that if I ran IULs right now, I'd probably, half of you guys are already kind of disconnected. But this gives you kind of an understanding. I went through the basics of North American. What are some of the rules so you understand them? We went through the term, we went through the GUL. We'll do IULs on our next class. I'll find some time tomorrow to be able to do it, no problem. I'll record it as well too, so you guys have that. Remember what I had told you about North American with regards to their application process. It's a 2-part process. So prep your client for that. Mr. Client, you're going to receive 2 emails. The first one is the consent. The second one will be a medical questionnaire that you have to solve. Remember that medical questionnaire, if you're trying to get a preferred rating, right, or over 300,000 of coverage, that medical questionnaire will determine whether that client can get approved with what's called easy underwriting, which means non-medical, based on how they answer it. Right? If there's something in that questionnaire that they fill out that causes a trigger, then the underwriter can request a medical exam. So remember that piece. Remember that Neelam Patel is your case manager exclusive for North American. She's not your case manager for any other company, but she is for North American, which means you can't call North American and speak to an underwriter. They're just going to redirect you to her. She's the one that forwards all the emails to you and to the secondary and the third agent, which is another tip. If you're doing business split, you guys need to communicate who's going to be the person talking to Neelam, so she's not getting information from both of you and getting confused. So when you're doing business split where there's a secondary agent or a third agent or whatever, all of you all are going to get emails from Neelam. So you need to make sure you each all know who's going to be the one communicating so that there's not, mistakes. Okay. For direct to carriers, remember North American pays once a week, which is on Tuesdays. Delivery receipts are wet ink. You cannot do electronic signature. Don't let your client use their phone to put their finger signature on there. I know it's cumbersome, but you definitely don't want to delay your commissions, and you don't want to do a bunch of policies like that. And then they do a, what do they call it? Like a quality control on your business, and they see that you're getting a lot of signatures electronically. That'll be a big problem. You don't want that. So yes, the client has to essentially print, wet ink sign, scan, send it back, so on and so forth. Any questions before we close off here? Good, good, good. Victoria, I know you got some business in the pipeline. Does this help you out?
Oh my goodness, yes, I'm excited.
Good. You guys will like North American. I don't want to sound like doomsday. When I give you guys training like this, I always give you so you understand and worst case scenario situations. North American's a very, very strong company. We write a lot of business with them. If you submit applications clean, meaning honest, right? What's yes is yes, what's no is no. They're not a company you want a clean slate where all your medicals are no, let them catch it. That's not that type of company. You do good stuff, you'll see they approve quickly. Neelam works amazing for you. Their illustrations are phenomenal. Their IULs are really good as well. You'll really like that company. My 20-year-old has an IUL with this company, and I could have gone to any other company. I went to this company. My kid IULs, I choose to use this company over any other, even over Allianz, even though Allianz is a better IUL. I'll tell you why, because they have something called a guaranteed insurability rider. It's a rider that allows the child to purchase more insurance 6 different times when they become adults without medical underwriting. So heaven forbid the child becomes sick and medically doesn't qualify for insurance anymore. This guaranteed insurability rider, look at the name, GIR, guaranteed insurability, will let the child purchase $25,000 of insurance 6 different times in their life without any kind of medical underwriting. North American has that rider. American National has that rider. NLG has that rider. Allianz doesn't have that rider. And I'm not going to lie, there's very seldom at Kids IUL that I don't have that rider attached to it. That's like a solid for me. And if I had to pick between the 3 companies that has it, North American's the one I'd go to, 100%. Huge on cash accumulation, huge on that rider. And if there's no more questions, I'm going to let you guys go to enjoy the rest of your day.
Hey, Tony,
Yes, sir.
off the back of your head, of your mind, do you know if this product is offered also for clients with IT numbers only?
No, unfortunately, they're not an ITIN company. Only
Okay,
ITIN company
appreciate
you really want to lean on, I would tell you, is NLG, National Life Group.
All right, appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah. Cool.
I have just one more question. I'm sorry.
No, you don't gotta apologize. I'm here for you. Go for it. What you got?
So I do have one lady that's a hard case. She has a nice budget, but she had cancer about a few years ago. I can contact, you
Neelam.
said I can, Neelam, and she will scrub for me. So, but she has been, I think about a year ago, she was declined.
So
So,
the decline isn't the worry with cancer. It's when did it go into remission? Most companies have a 3-year waiting period. So if they met the 3-year waiting period, they can reapply. If she got declined last year, maybe it's because last year was just 2 years worth of a wait. And so now it's a 3-year. Yeah. The other thing that could cause a decline is if the client doesn't show a responsible pattern of going back for checkups. So just because they remove the cancer, if in that 3-year period, the client's not going back to the doctor for checkups to make sure that cancer didn't come back, some insurance companies won't take that risk. So they have to show a pattern of responsible medical behavior. Does that make sense?
yes.
What
Yes,
Neelam
okay.
will do is she'll email you a questionnaire relative to that specific condition. All you got to do is get those questions answered by the client. You don't got to get it signed. So you can call the client up and ask her and let them fill it out. Then send that questionnaire back to Neelam. Neelam will start shopping out the market and see what each company says about that particular client. And then she'll email you a report with what every carrier said, so you know which one is the best one to apply with.
Very nice. Very
Cool.
nice. I'll be talking to her tomorrow. Thank you.
All right, then. All right, guys, have a good one. Lucia, same thing with DACA. Unfortunately, if there's not a resident status or a citizenship status, North American won't touch it. Allianz won't touch it. The only company we can really go for right now that we have access for DACA and for ITIN in the IUL space would be NLG. Foresters has a limited amount. American National has a limited amount as well. I think it's $250,000 is the max that you can do. But realistically speaking, NLG is going to be the best for those particular clients. Good stuff. Cool. Let me get your feedback, guys. If you can, please go on to the Voxer. Give me your 2 biggest takeaways, and I will make sure we schedule another meeting to do the IUL with North American. Have a good one. Be blessed. I'll stay on for another minute for any questions that you guys might have, and I'll upload this recording as well too tonight to our YouTube channel, so you guys can always follow back up. Appreciate you.